Okay, I'm David Ford, and I live with my wife Josie in the Blue Mountains west of Sydney, Australia.
How old are you?
I'm 74,
74.
and Josie is
67.
67.
yeah,
Doing Manaslu Circuit.
Yeah.
5,160 meters high.
and 14 days.
14
of
days.
walking. Yeah. It was a bit daunting at first, but I think if you have a reasonable level of fitness and you have the right attitude, you can do anything. And we got up there. We were probably a bit slower than most of the other trekkers, but we still made it and did good time. And we didn't get sick. We just had such a good time doing it, and it was such an achievement. We were really thrilled.
Yeah.
It was very emotional too, getting up to when we finally got up to Larke Pass. It was quite a surprise actually, because we're not the sort of couple that would, burst into tears, but we were quite teary when we got there. Yeah.
But strangely enough, that wasn't the most emotional moment of the trek, because we started this trek 2 years ago, and we had to terminate it because we were caught by the earthquake.
Oh yes, you are on the earthquake. Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Right,
Yes.
and we'd done 5 days and got as far as Gap, and we stayed there for 4 days. But what happened was that there were some German trekkers there who we got quite friendly with at Gap, and we spent 4 days, and they stayed behind because there was one of their party was injured, and we tried to walk back. But we didn't get all the way back, but we did get evacuated eventually from Jagat by Indian Army helicopter. Now, amazingly enough, when we were on this trek, this current trek, we were at Samagorn, and
In the tea house.
in the tea house at Samagorn, and who should walk past the window but one of the German trekkers that we were with 2 years ago at Gap.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
So it was such a stunning coincidence that they'd come from Germany
He and
and
his
we'd
wife.
come from Australia
to
and
redo the trek.
to redo the trek.
And we
And we had both coincided, not only the same trek, the same day, the same hotel, and adjoining rooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
that was emotional too.
Yeah.
And we were all very pleased to see each other, and we were just stunned that we managed to coincide. So we just travelled the rest of the way around
More or less
with
with them.
them and their couple
They
of
were with a
friends.
couple of other friends.
Yeah. So that added another dimension to the journey,
Yes.
which we had no idea was going to happen. It was fabulous.
How hard did you find this trek?
I think the first up to, let's say low, I suppose, it's reasonably okay, moderately strenuous, but
It was
well,
a lot of steps.
a lot of steps, but well within our capabilities. And then I suppose when the altitude started to kick in a little bit, you're a bit slower and it's a little bit harder to lift those legs, up the steps. But it was certainly doable.
But we also had the 2 acclimatisation days at Samagorn.
Having the extra acclimatisation.
And we went up 500 metres the first day and came back down.
Yeah.
And then we did 600 metres the second day and came back down and slept at Samagorn. And our acclimatisation was perfect.
I think so.
When we went to Dharamsala and then up to the pass, we took it slowly, but we didn't have any trouble breathing. We had we just took it slowly and we had no trouble at all.
Did you guys take Diamox?
We
We
did.
did, yeah.
So it helped as well.
Well,
We got
we
nothing
have
to
nothing
compare
to
it with,
compare it with
no.
because we've never taken it before, but we certainly had no problems. Other than that, it's a diuretic, so it means having to duck out at night quite a few times, which is a bit uncomfortable.
Well, it gets a bit wearing when we actually had to stay in a tent at Dharamsala.
Oh yes, only
yes,
1
yes.
tea hours there.
Yeah.
That's very great.
Which was
It was good.
another amusing experience in itself, because we had a big 8-person tent, and we had women up one end and men at the other end,
With our German friends.
and the guides.
Yeah, and the guides.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It was good.
that was quite amusing.
Yeah.
But yes, the Diamox, as far as I know, it worked very well.
It was okay for us.
We had no problems at all. And I think the worst experience was coming down from Larke after we'd had this great elation about making it to the top and really having no particular trouble doing it. And we had a perfect, we started off in the morning in bright moonlight, with snow crunching underfoot and just taking it slowly, and we had a beautiful day. Got to the top, but the descent was just devastating for us. It was so slippery.
But you had crampons, right?
Well, we did, but
we
didn't use them because they're only sort of small sections of ice, and we thought that we'd have to keep taking them on and off. But
Well, there wasn't actually that much ice. There was a lot of soft snow.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether crampons would have been of any real assistance on either that or on the loose gravelly stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of scree, which is.
But we didn't use them anyway.
Yeah, we didn't. But maybe we should have. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Mitchell, our guide, he was fantastic. He stuck with me virtually the whole time, and every time it looked like I might, be a bit unsure of my step, he grabbed my hand and helped me down. It was just wonderful. And Narayan, the porter, he always stayed with David.
He was my shadow for the whole 14
all the time.
days. One pace behind.
Yeah, but it was hard work getting down. But everybody says it's difficult going down the other side, and it's a long way down.
The itinerary said 10 hours and we took 13.
Oh my goodness.
For the whole day.
Yeah.
But a lot of the others did it in about 9 or 10, so we didn't think that was too bad. But the worst of it for us was, and this has nothing to do with the trek itself, was just the weather in the last hour changed, and it started to snow very lightly, which was okay, and then it started to rain, and we still had an hour before we got to Bintang, so it was a bit uncomfortable. But
we still had our down jackets on
so
because there was a howling cold wind.
Yeah, and we were too exhausted to take it, to put our raincoats on. But I mean, that's just the way things.
Yeah, weather changes.
Weather, you can't. Nobody can predict that.
No.
And,
But mind
but
you,
it was good to get to Bintang.
the other side of the coin was that overnight at Bintang it snowed quite heavily.
Oh yeah, once we got
the
there.
following morning at the village was just covered in snow.
It was beautiful.
And it was just stunning.
Yeah, it was really
and another clear blue day.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sunny
clear
day.
skies,
And then on that day, you descend through the spruce forest, rhododendron forest, along the Milk River. Oh, that was just glorious. And you're going down and down and down. It's getting easier and easier, and the oxygen is getting more and more. And it's just Bintang down to go was just the most wonderful day. Yeah, it was just, we just had a ball. And of course, you see these amazing views of Manaslu from the other side.
Yep.
Because it really is a circuit, isn't it?
It is a circuit.
You go from one side to the other.
Yeah.
But just going up to the pass was beautiful. Once the sun came up, and you're just surrounded by these magnificent, awe-inspiring mountains, and with glaciers coming down, and there was a couple of lakes.
There was a beautiful blue lake.
Of glacial lakes that
yes.
we were looking down on. Oh, it was just, I want to make you cry. It was just so beautiful.
There was too much beauty
to
take in.
It really was lovely.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Oh, well, we're going to go to Pokhara in a few days, and we're doing the Moha, Danda and Copra Ridge.
Yeah, Copra Village.
Yeah,
But I mean, next time.
Yeah, but well, we don't know. We'll see. It'd be nice to think that we could do another big trek, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll
And
see.
what do you want to say about company organizing things?
Oh, it was spot on. Spot on. We had a wonderful guide, a wonderful porter. Mitchell, the guide, he's hilarious. He's just such fun. Never stops talking.
Never stop smiling.
Never stops smiling. And he got to the point where, when we were with a group of other people walking, there were guides and porters who there's a wonderful camaraderie between all the guides and the porters. And he was talking and talking so fast that in the end they said, Mitchell, shh, shh, all the time. He said, we want to appreciate nature. And so Mitchell calmed down a bit after that. But he was great. He really looked after us well. And Nayan, the porter, was terrific. Very much quieter, but then of course he doesn't have any English, I don't think. And he did a terrific job, as well. And always making sure that we weren't in any strife or, it was good though. Terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time.
Well, thank you, Ram.
And thank you, Ram.
We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves.
Yes.
Thank you so much.